views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hey everyone, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee and welcome to Open BXRX. We've got another wonderful show lined up for you today. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Here we go. Coming up on today's show, we'll speak to a legendary R&B jazz singer about her most recent project. Then we'll hear from the president and founder of an organization that is inspiring our youth to defy the odds. After that, we'll learn about the unique concept that can be applied to our daily lives in more ways than one. And then my man Bobby C has the latest in the world of sports. And then we'll speak to the representatives of a local brewery that is offering tasty and refreshing special deals this week. Stay tuned. All of this and more is headed your way. We are now wide open. Here we go. Hey everybody, how are you? How you feeling? Hope all is well. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, I have a fantastic guest. She's a wonderful friend of mine. She's an entrepreneur, a radio host, a jazz and R&B singer. Woo, and she can really throw down. She joins us today to speak about her latest album. Now, she didn't call me and tell me about this, but we wanted to get her on the show so she can explain it. Summer Nights in Harlem. It's a brand new album. Please welcome to the show, Alyson Williams. Alyson? Welcome,
Hi,
welcome, welcome.
How are you?
All right. You look beautiful. You're gorgeous.
Thank you. I'm trying to hold it together for an old doll in a pandemic.
Yeah, well, you're doing a fantastic job. Now, you've been all over the world, from Broadway to Broadway stage to royal palaces in Morocco. And you come on stages in Harlem. And the last time I saw you, I think we were in New Jersey doing a show, right?
You and I show up a lot together.
Haven't been to Morocco yet, though.
It's on the list.
So from Broadway, talk about it. You've come a long way.
I've had an opportunity of a blessed career and have been able to dabble in quite a bit. I like to refer to myself as the Forrest Gump of my vocation. Because I feel like I've been everywhere. I started off as a jazz singer because of my father and my roots and what have you. And of course, it was dance and theater arts. And then I'd be at Dance Theater of Harlem in the daytime, and then I'd be at the Fever at night. And then
watch out.
I end up being signed to a rap label and given an R&B contract. So I've walked in a lot of different places with a lot of different kinds of people. And I guess I have done Broadway and off Broadway and the urban theater circuit. We used to call it gospel plays, and then it got then it got Tyler Perryized, and we called it urban theater. But nonetheless, I'm glad right now just to be getting back to my roots, which is jazz. I'm excited. Summer Nights in Harlem is my new project. It's not quite finished. I want to say that because I want people to understand that I'm going to be looking to my community to help make this happen. COVID is a thief, and it took a lot of time, a lot of plans, a lot of monies and capital. But I was blessed in 2020 to remain a creative. I made music, I sang, I continued to sing, and I made art. And that's a very difficult thing to do in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah. So your creative juices just flowed.
If I didn't have them, I don't know if I'd even have survived with or without a virus. I just know that everybody wasn't or has not been as fortunate, especially the artists, and you're included in that, to be able to continue to do what we do. We've been the hardest hit.
Yeah.
And
because
every place that we would normally go to try to make $1 out of 15 cents was shut down. But I'm really excited about this project. It is a nod to traditional jazz, the jazz I was brought up on, listening to singers like Nancy Wilson and Carmen McRae, you know, but with a new, if they feel like when you listen to the song, you say, I've heard this before, but you know you haven't, but you're glad you're hearing it then. And then you just hear it over and over. It's a song that speaks about Harlem, which is my home. And Harlem is something different to everybody, based on your demographic, based on what era you came through it, you know, how you came through, whether you were native to it or whether you just sliding in from Brooklyn or jumping down from the Bronx. You know, it has a different thing. So Summer Nights in Harlem, everybody can relate to it. I think the best description, and I've had some wonderful people write about it, is that a friend of mine said, oh, Alyson, I played the song, and immediately after I played it, I had to play it again. And it just made me feel, and they kept saying, made me feel. I said, stop trying to find a word. What the sentence is, I made you feel.
Right.
If music makes you feel, then it's done its job. So it made them feel.
That's when I was listening to your music. That's how it made me feel, you know. Like you gave me a call one night and you said, Bob, why don't you just stick to talking, stop singing? Because I like to sing the titles of some records just to change things up. So if I said something like, just call my name.
You practicing. Listen to you.
And I'll come running.
You're doing much better. You're doing much better. I love it. It's marked improvement. A dear friend of mine, Marlon Greer with Fly TV, he has gotten together with another partner, and they are doing a show, and for Valentine's weekend. It's a Valentine's Day weekend extravaganza at the Claridge Hotel.
Watch out.
In Atlantic City. You know, it almost feels like like a show, like for real, yeah. So they're gonna have a bunch of wonderful comedians, including our man Talent, who's heading it, and it's gonna be myself and Jeff Red performing.
All right.
So that's gonna be February 12th through the 14th, and if people want to know how to get packages or just get to the show, I've got I got a phone number for you. I promise I do.
While you're looking for that,
sure.
You do a radio show. Talk about it.
You know, and through the pandemic, once again, WHCR, one of our stations right there, broadcasting live from City College. It's WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. I celebrated last year 5 years in broadcast.
Oh,
and I'm always so appreciative to people like you and Lenny and Ken Webb and all the veterans who, when I said I was going to do radio, y'all didn't go, okay, fine, stay in your lane, Miss Thing. You know, y'all didn't say that. Y'all said
no, but I heard you. I heard you fill in a couple of times at WBLS back in the day.
I was okay, wasn't
I? You was doing it for a while.
Well, so you know, the thing is I went to school for it. But I never had a chance to pursue it because the music had afforded the opportunity, but I never let go of it. And I was kind of like that girl. If I went to do an interview, I wouldn't let them just, well, Alyson, tell us about the single. I'd be like, I need some copy. Give me some weather. Give me a flyer. Give me a I want to do something. And what would happen is I would make such an impression on the job, or maybe the program director be listening in, and then they call me and say, are you going to be in town for a couple of days? Because Tom Joyner's not going to make it, or Doug Banks is not going to get in. Can you come and fill in? Because we got some good feedback from our people. They faxed us. They did whatever. Yeah.
That's how you get the job too.
Yeah,
right place,
and so
right
it afforded me an opportunity for people to see that I had that skill set. Yeah. So I'll always be thankful to my team up at HCR for giving me the opportunity. I got a long way to go, but I'm in it. I'm in it.
Yeah. Do you have a website where we can go and check out what you're trying to show us?
Yeah. And if I could find that, you know what it is? They sent out a new flyer, and I didn't read it. I guess well enough to see that.
That's all right. Post it up, and we'll go there and check it out.
And they can find it on Facebook. If they go to Alyson Williams Music on Facebook, they'll be able to see it. I'm going to get the right version of it, because the other flyer was fine, and then they sent another one, but there's no number on it. So that's not my problem, really.
That's right. We'll get to it. We'll go to the website and we'll check it out. But I just
FLITV, FLITV. And Gibson Entertainment, and it is the Valentine's Weekend Extravaganza, self-love weekend retreat at the Claridge Hotel on February 12th through the 14th. And I'm sure if you go to Talent's page, you can find it there too. And,
there you go. Comedian talent. Yeah.
And the ooh and the ah, and it be in a bar.
Give them a virtual hug for me, all right?
I will.
I love you. They're going to wrap me. Any last words?
Bob, when we gonna get together and do some more stuff?
Very, very soon. As soon as they open things up, I can't wait. You know, I'm a community guy like you. You're a community person too. And
so last time I spoke to you, I said I want to do something with Make the Grade, and then came COVID, and then it just got crazy. But you were resilient, and I saw that you were able to still make the grade do what it do. So when it comes around again, I want to be in service to that.
We'll do it. There's a lot of things happening. In fact, we got something I'm working on with the United Federation of Teachers. We Feed New York, We Feed NYC, and we had them on last week, and they're great. They're doing some great things in the city. But give us your website one more time, because they're going to wrap me.
Okay, it's right now. They should just go to Facebook, Alyson Williams Music. Alyson Williams Music on Instagram, and Alyson Williams on Twitter. AlysonWilliamsMusic.com. But the site is down right now. We're adding some things to bring it back up.
R&B and jazz singer, Summer Nights in Harlem. She has that record out. Make sure you check it out. She's still working on it, and she wants your community participation. Alyson Williams, my girl.
They can find it. It's on all platforms. The single is out. You can go and find it. Please go and download it or stream it or whatever y'all do. Make a wish with a penny in the fountain or something, because we need every $1.99 and every $1.26.
There you go. I'm going to talk about it, all right?
Thank you, baby.
Love you, Alyson.
I love you so much.
Stay blessed. Stay tuned. We got more open coming your way next, right here. Welcome of the Dr. Bob Lee. It is Black History Month, and our next guest is the first Black female coach in the NFL, as well as the founder and president of Believe in You. I believe in you. Believe in You Incorporated. And she joins us today to speak about how she's galvanizing Black youth to defy the odds and achieve their dreams. Please welcome to the show, Colette V. Smith. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I believe.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about how you got started in all of this. What piqued your interest in wanting to get involved in sports and football and becoming a coach?
You know, I think for me, it wasn't a thought. It was just something that kids want to get involved in sports. Most kids like sports. My only dilemma was that I was a girl and I gravitated towards football. And, you know, society will tell you, well, girls don't play football. It's too barbaric. It's rough. Play a different sport. But football was the only sport that I wanted to play. So I loved football from the time I could walk.
Yeah, and you played a little bit, right?
Yeah. I played pro football for a women's team up here in New York when I was 42 years old. So I didn't start playing pro football until I was 42.
Oh, I thought you were 42 now, maybe 35.
Hey, you got good glasses.
Actually, they don't work that well, but I can see you. So tell us all about it. Tell us about your travels.
One day I was just happened to come across women's pro football team tryouts. And I was looking at my screen like there's no way there's a women's pro football team, let alone a league. But there was. I just never knew about it. And I went out to tryouts. I didn't believe I was going to make the team, Bob, because I was 42.
They didn't know that, though. They didn't know you were 42, though.
Well, I mean, I felt like it a little bit, you know.
Uh-huh.
But I think what's incredible is that when you unleash your inner strength because you love something, because you're passionate about it, I went out there and discovered I'm going to do this because I went there with the plans of just witnessing women playing a sport
Yeah.
that the world said we couldn't. That's the only reason why I went there, because I love football so much. I knew I wouldn't make the team, at least I thought so. When I got out there and I saw 45 to 50 women with full equipment playing football with 12 coaches and whistles blowing and tackling going on, my mind was blown. And I said, I'm making this team today. I'm making this team. And so I did.
And now you have a foundation, right? But how did you get to the Jets though? Before the foundation?
Well, yeah. So that was, I mean, I played for 3 years. I wasn't the greatest player, but I was a student of the game. I had double knee surgery and it put me into retirement. So I retired from playing pro when I was 45. And then the owner of my team asked me to be one of the coaches. And I said, I never coached anything before, let alone football. What are you talking about? And she said, well, you know your stuff. You love the game. Your teammates love you and appreciate you. So come be a coach. So I did.
Uh-huh.
Then she promoted me to be the marketing coordinator, director. I did events and everything else. So I was marketing my team as well. So I started going on New York Jets fan group pages because I grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah.
So I figured, why not align these women with the New York Jets? Women's pro football, New York. Men's pro football, New York. And of course, I picked the Jets. So I started intriguing them, saying, hey, love the Jets, but you know, your sister's over here playing in spring. So when NFL season is over, come watch us play. So I started gaining fan base, and I had gotten the attention of some people in the front office with the New York Jets.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody from the front office called me. He was, his name was Clay Hampton. He was the vice president of operations for the New York Jets. And he called me, and I had an attitude that day. He called me, and we started talking about football and my team and what he could do for me, what the New York Jets could do to help us women in football. And he had given me on-field access to Jets practice. And it wasn't a public practice. So I got out there, and at that time, the head coach was Coach Bowles, Coach Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles, yeah.
You figure a Black man as a head coach, there are very few of them. I'll repeat that. There are very few Black head coaches. So he was one of them, and I was very proud of him. And I saw him on the football field at practice, and I said, I'm a player, I'm now a coach. I know he's busy, so let me not go bother him, because when you're on the football field, this is not fun and games. We're working, it's strategic. So the GM, this is kind of funny. The general manager, it was Mike McCagnon at that time, the GM for the Jets. He and I knew each other. So he sees me on the sideline. He's like, hey, Colette, how you been? How's your women's team doing? I said, we're undefeated.
Oh, he's been watching you.
Yeah, well, we had met each other. I told him all about my women's team. He remembered. And, you know, he asked me about myself and the team. And we started talking it up. But Todd Bowles was literally like right there. He can see the GM engaging with me. And then the vice president for the New York Jets, at that time, it was Neil Glatt. I knew Neil Glatt and his wife as well. And Neil said, Colette, how you been? So now I guess Todd Bowles is like, who is this lady that my GM and the VP know?
Yeah.
So eventually he comes over and we start talking. Woody Johnson, the owner, came over and we started chopping it up. And so I was
Next
there.
thing you know?
Well, you know, it took a little while. So Coach Bowles, I remember, he was asking me, he said, you know, he said, what position do you play and coach? And I said, the same position that you played at Temple University.
Woo!
And he looked at me just pretty much like that.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, well, look, enjoy yourself today. If you need anything, let me know. So when he went to walk away, I called him back over. I said, Coach, I need something.
So how did you actually get the job though?
Coach Bowles and I talk. We talked, and then I stayed at practice that day. And then after practice, he and I spoke some more. Before we left, he said to me to bring my resume. He says, when you come back, bring a resume because you should work for this organization. And I said, I agree.
Thus, the first Black female coach in the NFL.
Yeah, it took a while. So I kept going back to practice. You know, I would text Coach Bowles and I'd say, I'm coming out. Is today okay? He would say, of course. If I didn't come out for a while, he would, text me. Where you been? The guys are asking about you.
So you got the job. So listen, so after that, you started the Believe in You Incorporated.
Yeah, I started Believe in You Incorporated. Yeah. Believe in You.
Upon.
You know what? That is based upon Coach Bowles and I's first meeting. When Coach Bowles said to me, you should work for this organization, I was so excited. He said that to me. I called my dad up when I left practice and I said, Dad, can you believe Coach Bowles asked me to work for the organization? And my dad said to me, I can believe it. I'd be more proud if you believed it. So that stuck in me. And I left the NFL to start my own company to empower Black
There
people.
you go. Believe in You. I got it.
Believe in You Incorporated.
I got it.
Yeah.
How'd you feel, to find out that Coach Todd Bowles is with Tampa Bay?
Oh man, that I was blown away. He's such a good man. He's such an incredible person. I consider him to be a big brother. He's a wonderful coach, wonderful. And he's a defensive coach. So when he became the Tampa Bay Bucks defensive coordinator, I said, he is going to crush this defense. And he did. And every time I watch the Bucks games, I look at my dad because we watch football together and I said, that's Coach Bowles all over that defense.
He brought him all the way to the Super Bowl. Woo!
Brought him all
right.
His debut. I got goosebumps. Yeah, I'm so proud of him.
So that's great. You're doing some wonderful things. What do you tell people about Black History Month? What does it mean to you?
Black History Month, to me, should be every single day because there's so many phenomenal Black persons that help create this world to make it a better place, yourself included. There's so many of us that do extraordinary things. So we're beyond 1 month. We're every day. We're 365 days a year.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm exceptionally proud of Black History Month and proud to be a part of it. Proud to be, someone that's making and creating change in this world and positive, impactful messaging to our Black youth that need it so bad.
And you made history. Where can we go to find out more about you? Do you have a website?
I do. So my website is believeInYouInc.com. BelieveInYouInc.com. I also ask people to follow me on Instagram under Colette V. The V is for victory. Colette V. Smith. Yeah. And I've got a lot of things going on. I'm working on my life story still. I have a documentary in motion, and there's talk about a movie series.
Oh, that's great.
There's a lot of things going on right now.
And you have all of that on the website, right? Because we're going to go there and check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out. My book, we'll see when that book is coming out. I work on my book every chance I get. I'm writing all the time.
Colette V. Smith, the first Black female coach in the NFL. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day. We love you. Coming up next, I've got more open. Don't move a muscle. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. We've got you. Welcome back. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS and BronxNet's Open. Our next guest is a world-renowned Astro-Numerologist, and he joins us today to shed some light on the unique subject of numerology and why it's so important. Please welcome to the show, Lloyd Strayhorn, my brother.
Bob Lee, how are you, my brother? How's everything with you, sir?
All right. I remember when you first came out with the book, it seems like you had this first tablet that was out and used to be typing away on it every day when we used to work at the WLIB.
Yeah.
So
numerology has grown so much. At that time, it wasn't as popular. Astrology has always been popular, but now it seems that numerology is beginning to overtake astrology in its popularity and curiosity about the subject. Actually, numerology is older than astrology. And what connects the two between astrology and numerology are the planets. So if somebody says Mars, to me, they're talking about an Aries astrologically, like you. However, if they say Mars to me, numerologically, they're talking about either a person born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th, just like you, because you're born on Mariah Carey's birthday, or she's born on your birthday.
Yeah, I was born on her birthday. But anyway, you're right. Astrology's been out for a long time too, because I think in the biblical days and even before that, they used to gauge everything by the stars and
that's right,
the cosmos.
Exactly. But actually, you can't do without numbers. You know, when they shut down the country back in March of last year, 2020, everybody had the stay home challenge. My stay home challenge was I put a Chris $100 bill on the screen and I says, this is yours. No strings attached. I'll mail it to you, overnight it to you. However, you must do something. You must tell me how you're going to get up tomorrow morning, go throughout the entire day, and don't use numbers. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Normally, when you get up, the first instinct is, what time is it? Okay. If not, you're going to make a call, or you're going to get a call, or you're going to turn to your favorite TV show or tune into your radio show. Well, you and I know that these radio and TV shows have frequencies that go out. So on WBLS, it was 107.5. On WLIB, it was 111190, 111190. So they're always frequencies that we give off. And so, I mean, you can't buy gum, you can't get gas, you can't buy breakfast. And I tell people, if they don't think numbers exist, can you send me your paycheck? I have never got anybody's paycheck. So everybody believes in some kind of numbers, okay?
Exactly. And even if you go inside, you do your inside work, you have a frequency. And if it's a bad frequency, you can change that frequency.
Yes, you can.
So there's always a frequency, there's always numbers involved. You're absolutely right.
And there's nothing you can do without numbers. If you go to a dentist, each tooth has a number assigned to it. You go to your accountant, since this is now tax time, you want to find out, are you going to get some, or do you got to pay something? You go to your doctor, they get your cholesterol level, your blood level, hey, the world goes on. And for an athlete, the greatest honor is to retire their number from the franchise, never to be worn again by anybody else that comes through.
Yeah, see that? So what got you involved? There's always a story on how people got involved in certain things and what, they grew within it. What motivated you?
Well, I was into astrology, but there was one event that took place in the summer in Atlantic City when I was with this young lady, and she introduced me to numerology. So when you meet a new young lady, they get your attention. So she said numerology. I said, what was that? So that one led to another. And then when I got into numerology, I says, okay, numbers are great. The numbers only go from 1 to 9. So what does that mean? So if I say 10, 1 plus 0 is back to 1. If I say 11, 1 plus 1 is back to 2. So I said, this is great. I got 10 fingers. This only go from 1 to 9. I got this. And I tried to prove it didn't work. And that thing took me on an odyssey that I mean, it's just amazing. The people I've met, artists, people I work with like yourself and whatnot, it's just been an incredible journey. Had somebody said you would do all of this just from numbers, I'd say, yeah, get out of here. But it is true.
Yeah,
it is very true. And
this was based upon the numbers on that woman.
Yes, because I was hot and heavy on her case. You know how we roll.
Size and everything else.
So she changed the subject. She threw me a curveball.
Yeah.
So
that was 25 degrees to the left and came in and.
Yeah. And do you know anything about numerology? Am I thinking, huh? Okay. Number who?
That's beautiful. So it's important to other people because it is out there like that. But you found ways to put out a couple of books.
Yes, in fact, I have 4 books that are available now on Amazon. And one is called Numbers in You. That's my Bible, the numerology guide for everyday living.
I remember you writing that one. Yeah.
Yeah, then I
remember
have
that.
Lloyd's Numbers in You workbook, because I have an online course that I teach on my website. It's now in 56 countries and 21 languages. I got close to 2,000 students signed up around the world.
And you were still at the station when those two books came out, the first book and then the workbook.
Yeah, and then I have two more books after that. It's called Lloyd's Numbers in You Relationship Guide, because everybody want to know about this one or that one. And then my other book, Lloyd's Book of Numbers, a numerology guide for the 21st century and beyond.
Yeah.
So those are the books I got, and they're all available on Amazon.
And people call you all the time to ask you about their number. Can you read me? Can you read me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Who are some of the famous people that you've dealt with in the past?
Okay. Jamie Foxx, LL Cool J, Sade, Tamia, Quincy Jones, Denzel Washington, Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
I mean,
and a lot of them were regulars, right? They want to know,
huh?
A lot of them
Yes.
were regulars.
Yeah, and to me, my greatest is when I met Barry White at the station. He was interested in numerology, and I autographed the book to him. And in fact, some of my books on Amazon is to be sold for like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So I wondered if I signed it to some celebrities that are no longer here. Like when I met Lena Horne, I autographed the book to her. When I met Barry White. Yeah. In fact, one of the things I also, when I met Aaliyah, singer Aaliyah at the station, and I autographed the book to her too. So I'm wondering whether is that why the books are, because I thought they made a typo error. So I said, well, let me see if this book is. And one book was almost close to $1,000. But evidently, whoever I signed it to, it was like a collector's item. So it's been nice. But I mean, I met tons more people. That's just off the top. Wesley Snipes, one of my regular clients. So it's really nice, Bob. I've been very, very fortunate.
Yeah. Where do we go from here? Anything you're working on?
Well, yes. In fact, in the last weekend of March, I'm going to be in Atlanta for a health and wellness event, and people can view it by video stream. Some will be allowed, just a few, only because of the social distancing and whatnot. But that would be it. And I'm always on some kind of radio or television show, like today, being on your show. So it's always interesting. So I try to put notices up on my website, lloyd-strayhorn.com. And
I'm sure Sandra from the Bullion Foundation will put it out there also.
Sandra's my girl. She's nice, and her son is so cool. He's a Leo.
He's a Leo. What's his birthday?
His birthday is, if I'm not mistaken, July 29th.
We're gonna read you right on TV. Here we go. Tell us about him.
Well, first of all, it indicates that he started out as an old man. In other words, very, very mature for his age, very independent for his age, asking questions. So if Sandra, his mom, says, honey, God made the world, he want to know, well, who made God then? I mean, he takes it to that level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He will find that women will always be important to his life, whether it's his mom, a sister, an aunt, a daughter, a Mrs., a grandmother. Some female entity will be very, very strong. It also tells me, as a result, that's why he's very popular with ladies. Not that he's a player, okay, there's a difference. He just gets along very well with the opposite sex. He'd also do well in the mechanical, mathematical sciences, computers, technology, engineering. He would also do well in the food industry, because every single person has their gift. And this year's a money-making year for you.
Woo! Well, we've been stuck in a house. Me and Alyson Williams, we've been talking about it. We're community people. We want to go out there and host a stage and do the singing and do the DJing and make the appearances and sign some books and all of that.
Yeah.
But, sometimes people are not there during this pandemic.
But let me show you how I've determined it. Each year, we all go through what is called a personal year cycle. So what you do is you take the month and day you're born and add it to the year in question. So when I took your birthday, March the 27th, and added it to 2021, it factored out to an 8. Now, everybody wants to know when you're in an 8 cycle. Why? Because it represents money, power, authority, achievement, recognition. It rules births, marriages, pregnancies, separation, divorce, moving into a home, moving out of a home, reconnected with your past. There might be a reunion coming up, a family reunion. whether it's from college, whether it's from the old days, whether it's some kind of way you're going to get together and see people you haven't seen in a long time. And plus, it's in a cycle like this that you do a lot of growing up. Not that we're not grown already, but we become more philosophical. We begin to see what part Lloyd Strayhorn has really been playing in my life for this person or that person has been playing in your life. So it's going to be great. Capricorns will help you. That's people born in January. Aquarius, like me, will help you. That's people born in February. And Librans, those that are born around late September, October, or anyone born on the 8th. But this is your year to really, really do very, very well financially. Yeah.
Where can we go? Where can we go to get more information on the books and everything that you're doing?
Well, you can go to my websites. One, I'm on Instagram under Numbers in You, Facebook under Numbers in You, Twitter under Numbers in You, LinkedIn under Numbers in You, and now I just joined this thing called Clubhouse. I'm very new to that.
You know what? I thought I saw you on there the other night. You were in some room there, but I'll check you out.
Yeah. I understand it's more conversational than just, visual. So I'm very, very new to it. Somebody told me to get on and invite me. So however that works, I'll see them on there. Then you go to my website, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. That's LLOYD-Strayhorn, STRAYHORN.com. And click on get a free newsletter. Sign up for my beginner's course, Learn from Lloyd How to Read a Person Like a Book, or intermediate in advance, Learn from Lloyd the Next Step in Numerology.
Woo! How to read a person like a Lloyd. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lloyd
Thank
Strayhorn,
you.
Astro-Numerologist, author, and professor. Thank you. We're going to be checking you out, and I'll give you a call.
Thank you. I'll look for it too. Have a blessed day, and thanks as always.
Stay blessed. Okay. We'll take a break right here. But coming up next, I've got my man Bobby C has the latest in the world of sports. Don't move a muscle. We've got you next.
A little self and cross promotion this morning. If you can't get enough Bobby C doing sports, I have a new podcast. Joining us as co-host of said podcast, Edgar Burgess. Ed, good morning. How are you?
What's up, man? Bobby, how you feel?
I'm feeling good, man. Excited about our new podcast. And I guess the biggest reason for having you on the show, besides talking some sports this morning, would be why should our peoples in the BX tune in to Step in the Arena, besides the fact that, like Tom Brady and LeBron James, I'm still as great as ever in this game, late into the game of sports broadcasting.
You never know who's going to come on to Step into the Arena. We've 3 shows in. We've spoken with Baron Davis. We've spoken with Roger Mason. Who else? We got Mike James coming on. Jerome Junkyard Dog. Frank Isola. We've had, in 3 shows, we've had a great guest, and we have more great guests coming, and it's organic. And that's what I like about our show is like, you never know what these guys are going to say. We never know what Bobby C is going to say. And it's fun.
Absolutely. And Ed, I know a lot of people probably do know your background, but for those that don't, you worked for the New York Knicks for a long time, a former producer with places like NBA TV, and now your own company, Hard to Guard. Do you still enjoy nabbing all of these big names for our podcast and putting together quality creative content?
I love it. It's a way to have like conversation, especially, through a podcast or virtual or whatever. And we could kind of keep up with like what some of the guys are doing, besides basketball, and, letting the, fans or whoever's watching know, like, about the relationships that you and I have gained over the years. And for me, it's always fun. Like when I talk to the guys, like, hey, can you do the show? And usually most of the time they say, yeah. Or like if they can't do it that night, they'll make sure that they'll work their schedule around it to come on eventually.
So as you mentioned, a few weeks in, we've had some awesome guests like former NBA players Baron Davis and Jerome Williams and Roger Mason Jr., top flight commentators like Frank Isola and Jared Greenberg. Here's a clip with Frank Isola breaking down the last time the Knicks probably had their best chance to win an NBA title?
They had gone out and they had made all those big moves. They had gotten Larry Johnson in a trade with Anthony Mason. They signed Allen Houston and they signed Chris Childs. It was a great mix of young players, old players. They were deep. That, they went, Jeff was only going to play about 8 or 9 guys, but they had a solid 8 or 9. And if you remember, they closed out the regular season on a winning streak. I believe they might have won their last 3 games of the regular season. Then they sweep Charlotte in the first round. Back then it was best 3 out of 5. So that's a 6-game winning streak. Then they beat Miami in the first game. So they were on a 7-game winning streak going into that game 2. They didn't play well in game 2 in Miami. Then they come back home, obviously. And then we all know what happened with the fight in game 5, which changed everything. It's really an awful moment. It's funny, I'm doing this book with Charles Oakley, and I go back and look at some of these fights that have happened over the years. Like the thing that Kurt Rambis did, or I'm sorry, that Kevin McHale did to Kurt Rambis, they didn't even get ejected from the game.
Yeah, I know.
Here we have like Patrick Ewing is hovering 20 feet from a melee, kind of looking around to see what's going on. He gets suspended for a game. To me, that was their best chance because, as you guys know, the final night of the season, they beat Chicago in Chicago. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen played. I know that's crazy nowadays, like for 2-star players to play in the final game of what would necessarily be a meaningless game. But I agree with you guys. I think that 96-97 team, they should have played Chicago in the conference finals. Now, I know there's a lot of Knicks fans that listen. I still believe, because I'm a big Michael Jordan guy, I felt like Michael Jordan would find a way to win 4 games. It's hard to beat Michael Jordan 4 times in the 90s, as everybody found out.
So, Ed, do you think the Knicks will ever win a championship in your lifetime?
In my lifetime? Oh, man, I think it's going to be hard, man. I like, honestly, it's weird because this year is like, Thibodeau hasn't gone in the right direction, and then I'm a big fan of Wes, and I'm a big fan of Leon. I think that they're solid guys, and they know basketball, and they're surrounding themselves with good basketball guys. You have to make a couple of moves here and there. I mean, we'll see what 5 years, 10 years down the road, possible. And also like the fact that, they do have a couple of first-round picks in the next couple of years along with Dallas. And if Dallas keeps losing, we own their unprotected pick this year. So that we might have 2 lottery picks this year. So you never know.
It would be great to see them win a championship sometime in both of our lifetimes. No doubt about that.
For me, I'm blessed to at least see the finals in my lifetime. When, the 99 Knicks, I was there. And obviously me and you have talked about it plenty of times. That 97 team, that was the team that was going to win the championship. Totally. I'm so upset because at least me personally, I'd be selfish. I would have a ring and nobody would ever be able to tell me anything.
On the show, we've also hit some more serious topics like a reflection on Kobe Bryant's passing 1 year later. And of course, some tragic news more recently with the passing of popular journalist Sekou Smith, a friend of Ed's and of Jared's. So here's more on Sekou Smith.
It's weird. This is a weird business. You guys, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, whether it's talking about basketball or whether it's talking about the media. It's really hard to find somebody who everybody likes. And I'm not one to blow smoke, but in this universe that the 3 of us live in here, Sekou's a rare breed. Like, there's not a person you will meet who will talk trash or say a bad word about him. That's unusual in this business. I know whenever my time comes, there's going to be plenty of people who are like, that guy was a jerk. I get it. I totally get it. This guy went out of his way to mentor so many people. He went out of his way to be just a good guy. And I joke, like, he was like this angry guy. Like he was like a curmudgeon a little bit, where he was grumpy. But while he was grumpy, he had this smile on his face and he was laughing about it. And it was so like infectious. And he just wanted to do his job, and he loved his family. And for those of you who don't know, I worked with him about, 3-4 weeks ago on a Friday night. And then like 3 days later, we found out he had got COVID. I don't know how he got COVID. I don't know what the deal was, but he was supposed to be okay. I was texting with him. He's fine. And then all of a sudden he's on a ventilator and he's in a coma. And then we get a text that he's supposed to be okay. Like he's going to be fine. And then I got a call Tuesday that he was gone. Like it still doesn't feel real to me. It still feels like an outer body experience where like, I don't understand how this works. And I'm bothered by it, but like we're going to miss Sekou. Like we need more people like him.
I had a real intense interview there with Jared Greenberg. I know that Sekou was a dear friend of yours. A really great interview on the podcast.
Yeah, I would say, I know Sekou not as well as, Jared and the guys at NBA TV. We've crossed paths, but a gentleman. That's all I can say. A gentleman, and my condolences go out to his family, his kids, and his wife. But he leaves a legacy, and we just got to do our job to make sure that his name stays alive forever.
For you, what has been the most challenging part of all of this, in addition to, I know we've talked about it, losing so many dear friends to COVID-19?
It's weird, man. Like, I say my prayers every morning, and I'm just like, I'm happy to be alive. I say my prayers for my friends and their family. Just being home is tough. After a while, you want to get out, but my thing is like, I just want to, eventually, hopefully things open up eventually. But, obviously we want to make sure people wear your mask, listen to what they have to say so we could get out of this situation.
And I definitely want to give you a shout for booking the guests, because I book enough guests for BronxNet, and also have to give a huge shout to our other producer, Randy J. Cruz, who's done an amazing job with all the tech stuff and the producing and making it happen for us.
Nah, Randy, shout out to Randy. He's like me and you talked, prior. He's a basketball junkie. And he loves what he does, and he's helping us, fulfill what we want to do. And in the background, he's doing a great job. So shout out to Randy.
Step in the Arena is live on Thursday nights at 10 p.m. on Twitter, Randy J. Cruz. You can also catch it on YouTube or like and download at SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Edgar Burgos, thanks so much for taking some time. I'll see you on the podcast.
Robbie C., see you tonight.
When taking public transportation, don't touch your phone. Carry hand sanitizer and use it immediately upon leaving the bus or train. Avoid touching your face. If someone is coughing or sneezing, move away. Wash your hands with soap and water as soon as possible. Limit contact with poles. If possible, avoid rush hour. Don't eat or drink on public transportation. Keep your bag off the floor or other surfaces. Avoid directly touching turnstiles. Stay up to date with the latest from your local health department and CDC.
Welcome back. I'm the Doc Bob Lee, and our next guests are the co-founder and president and general manager of the Bronx Brewery and Empanology. They join us today to speak about their wonderful experience in the most recent restaurant week and to talk about what's going on this year. Please welcome to the show, Brandon Espinoza and Jason Alicea. Welcome to the show, guys.
How you doing, Doctor?
Okay. So how did you put the brewery and the epanology thing together?
Well, it's been something that's kind of dated us back to our pop-up days. I believe we did our first pop-up at the brewery in 2017, where I met Brandon. And then since then, we've developed a close relationship and some great amount of synergy, and done a bunch of pop-ups leading us up to last winter, where we did a chef residency there for about 2 months. Went well. We participated for the first time Save of the Bronx. Ultimately led to us landing a partnership with the Bronx Brewery as their first food partners. And we just opened up for the first time for a 7-day operation back on August 14th.
Wow. And we had some meetings over there at the Bronx Brewery a couple of times, I think with BronxNet. But bringing you guys together, that seems like a wonderful thing, put a big screen up there. Did you guys participate in the Super Bowl?
Absolutely, man. We actually been doing a lot of tailgating events, and I'll let Brandon talk more to that. But we've also launched some Super Bowl catering packages, and we had just recently switched up our menu for some winter offerings. So tailgate events and some good catering coming on.
What did you have for the Super Bowl package?
Yeah, I could take that one, Dr. Lee. So Brandon here, general manager of the taproom events at the Bronx Brewery. So as the year started off, obviously indoor dining was shut down, and we were looking for every and any opportunity to drive people to our venue to indulge in our beer and the food offerings from Empanology. So in the beginning of the year, we were part of Bronx Restaurant Week, so Savor the Bronx, which was a great opportunity to create packages that we typically wouldn't offer for the Bronx community. And then recently, we were part of New York City Restaurant Week. I think we were one of 8 or one of 10 restaurants in the Bronx participating in New York City Restaurant Week, which has currently been extended for us through February 13th, so the day before Valentine's Day. Yeah. And during that time, we were thinking about our space in the backyard, which we like to call the hidden gem here in New York City, and decided to go the opposite way of like what most restaurants are doing. So we decided to dive into the cold weather, and we created these tailgate experiences. So similar to like what you would experience if you were going to tailgate a football game. So beer, Empanology, hand warmers, the game on TV. And we saw a tremendous amount of success with that. And where that has left us is go forward. We're looking to be the premier venue here in New York City for live music, entertainment, events, obviously making sure we're doing all of that in a very safe way and following all CDC guidelines for COVID precautions and safety. So what you can look forward to are more curated events that we create for our community and centered around art, music, culture, creativity, inclusivity, and community here in the Bronx.
Yeah. So we got to find out more about that backyard space, huh?
You do. Yeah. If you don't know, you're late.
Yeah. Well, I heard about it. I haven't been there, COVID, pandemic, and all of that. So, but people can drive by and pick up a box, right?
Yeah. So for the foreseeable future, we're offering these family combos, TBD when these combos will end, but they're able to be purchased via our e-commerce direct-to-consumer platform, which is called BXV Go. So guests can go online and order these combos for delivery or pickup. And these combos incentivize guests to get more and save money at the same time versus going a la carte. So excited to see what that will do for us, as well as giving guests the opportunity to purchase food and add on beer. So excited to see where this platform will go for us in the future.
Are you dealing with Ubereats and things of that nature?
Yeah. So we're currently on Grubhub, Seamless, as well as DoorDash.
Oh, wow. Hey, Steven, we should order some food. So, Jason, you're the chef, right?
That's correct.
How'd you get involved?
Well, I founded the company back in 2018 with my wife. And we started off doing a bunch of pop-ups. We had a brick and mortar space for about 1.5 years in Mount Haven prior to joining forces with the Bronx Brewery. So I've been on the ground floor of the company since day one. And we just actually brought in a new team of some chefs. So that goes with our expanded menu of more than just empanadas. And yeah, man. So I am one of the probably 3 chefs, and I'm the main chef. Most of the come from either my grandma, my mom, or my travels and stuff.
Oh, all right. So you got some old school mix in there too. I mean, they can cook. They have the old school secret recipes and stuff like that. I'm salivating while I'm saying.
The secret, or what I like to say, separates us from a lot of other empanada players in the industry is our doughs, our masa and the empanadas. Grandma's recipe from Puerto Rico, passed down, and something that we've kind of mastered through our years of R&D and trying to perfect our product. Yeah.
So what are some of the dishes that you do again?
So right now on the menu, we are offering a dessert empanada, a banana foster empanada. We have world famous, which is the one that kind of put us on the map, our chopped cheese empanada. We are offering a chicken truffle mac and cheese. We are also doing what we call a vegan bori, which is a play on carnitas, but we use jackfruit and we mix some rice and beans and pickled onions and sweet plantains, all in a little empanada. That's our vegan offering. And we got over 8 different sandwiches. We got 3 different tacos, 6 different wings flavors, 2 different types of fries, and some rice bowls.
Woo, let me get my jump rope and start working out and bring it down a little bit before I come to see you guys. Brandon, what beer would you put with that? What brew would you put together with those?
So my go-to is always the empanadas, which I need to scale back a bit because I'm putting on the pounds over here. But it depends on the day, depends on the type of day I had, but can never go wrong with our World Gone Hazy, which is our hazy IPA. You know, a lot of the people here that come to visit love Now's You Can't Leave, which is our double IPA that comes in at.
That's what it's called. Now You Can't Leave.
Now's You Can't Leave. Yeah, it's a take on a Bronx Tale. So that's one of our heavy hitters, one of our best sellers. You also can't go wrong with a simple Pilsner, right? Our well-earned Pilsner, which is light, balanced, and able to go well and pair with many of the food offerings that Jason has. And recently we just introduced a new platform, which is called Side Hustle, which is our hard seltzer. And we have a soft seltzer play on that as well. And excited to see what that will do for us and our business as people become more health conscious and more centered around wellness and just giving them variety in the portfolio.
I tell you guys got it going on. Is there a website we can go to check it out?
Absolutely. I would push everybody to bronxbrewery.com, or you can check out empanology.com. And yeah, come check us out, man. It's a good space to have a good time with some good people.
Brandon,
and on the beer, on the beer side, I would just say continuing to innovate, work with local artists via our Up and Comer series. So you could look for 2 new beers coming out monthly. There's something for everyone. And as I said, Side Hustle Hard Seltzer and the Soft Seltzer we have now is a new project that we're working on. So stay tuned for more collaborations, partnerships as we continue to grow. And stay tuned for the opening of our East Village location, which will open later this year.
Oh, wow. Jason, Brandon, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And you're always welcome to come back.
Will do, Bob. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. And I want to thank you, our guests, for joining us, and you, our viewers, for tuning in. You can keep following us on BronxNet TV for continued coverage. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. Hey, don't forget to join our host, Darren Jaime, on Wednesday for a brand new episode of Open. For all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day. And always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let your choice control the chooser. I'll see you over 107.5 WBLS. I love you all. Peace.